least. Alright, anyways, matchup chart. Start with Cloud. I think Wolf slightly beats Cloud. It's kind of like if the matchup, in my opinion, feels very. It feels very difficult and even, or it feels difficult and neutral for a moment, but then once Wolf gets a hit, it kind of just goes downhill. The big issue in this matchup, honestly, is Cloud's up B out of shield. His up B is just like really, really annoying. Hold on. I'm gonna turn this down a bit too. Hopefully it's not too loud. But there we go. But yeah, that, in my opinion, that makes the matchup not that bad. Just the fact that he can get rid of pressure fairly easily. But offstage, he kind of gets screwed. Like, if he goes low, he should just get down smashed. Bowser, I think, is even. Although, I will say, I could definitely see the I could see my opinion of the matchup changing, just because I just feel like this could definitely go into Bowser's favor. Maybe even, or either way, it could go to Bowser's favor, it could go to Wolf's favor. At the moment, I'd put him even. Let's see. Corrin, I think, is pretty solidly in Wolf's favor. The issue I see here is that it's kind of like... how do I explain it? It feels like you're fighting a slower Lucina, but with less combo, or like with less juggle capability, and then being off stage is even worse. The only upside I could see Corrin having really is that pin is fairly good to like 2-frame Wolf's recovery, or just like edgeguard Wolf in general. Or you also have forward smash, but yeah, overall I'd say it's pretty hard. Let's see. Let's do a bad matchup. A matchup I think that Wolf loses. Let's see. Pikachu. I think this matchup is very, very difficult. One of the main reasons is that it's just really hard for Wolf to effectively pressure Pikachu because his out of shield options are pretty solid. And then on top of that, Pikachu is pretty short, so it just feels like in order to even hit Pikachu, you have to do low aerials, which are easier to parry. And then Wolf, because of his fall speed, he has aerials that like you have an easier Q to parry them, if that makes sense. On top of having a hard time punishing Pikachu's options out of shield. How do you fast fall short hop Nair? You just do Rising Nair and fast fall it. Let's see. I think Wolf loses the Wario. Before I didn't think so, but after playing this matchup more, it just feels like neutral's difficult. Like kind of similar to Pikachu, your out of shield options aren't that amazing, and then plus Wario just gets a free stock with Waft sometimes. Like comboing Wolf is pretty easy for Wario, I would say, and then you just get like one of your stocks guaranteed with Waft. Like unless your combo game with Wario is really, really bad, you should almost always be able to land a Waft combo on Wolf because of how like good his weight and fall speed is for Wario, in my opinion. I feel like Wolf slightly beats all the Links. Kind of for the same reason, honestly. He surprisingly does well versus, like, against them off stage. Like, if they recover with up B, you could just jump, spike them. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot to add something. Put this here. I probably, like, the even slight disadvantage or advantage I'll only use if I really go back and forth on the matchup. I'm going to try to just do slide this or even whatnot. Spacies. I think that Wolf slightly beats both the Spacies. Actually, no. I think he goes even with Falcon. I don't know why I said that. But I feel like he slightly beats Fox. The main reason I think that Falco does better than Fox in this matchup is because a lot of Fox's combos on Wolf aren't, like, they're not real, if that makes any sense. Like, a lot of Fox's combos in general aren't real, so you can jump out or just, like, nair him. And then the thing is that I think Fox has to heavily rely on parrying things. So, like, obviously, Fox has a really good parry option with up tilt, but it just feels like that's like such a huge factor, if that makes any sense. Like, is he consistently getting parries? And then that's not to say that you can't also get something that's kind of a swaying factor. Like, let's say I 2-frame down smash Fox, he kind of just dies. Especially with how his recovery is, because his recovery is slower. So, like, you should have an easier time just edge guarding him. And with Falco, like, Falco's combo game is better. He has more attacks that just, like, that can just flat out beat Wolf's attacks, like with Fair or like Dare if you space it at a certain spot. And I also think Falco has a better time edge guarding Wolf. Like, he doesn't have to like go for 2 frames. He like in 2 frames can be kind of risky. Like, Wolf or Falco can just go out and jump and edge guard Wolf and kill him that way. Yeah, on top of just having good consistent combos on Wolf. And then edge guarding Falco is harder than Fox, because, like, he has an amazing double jump. He can directional air dodge and recover more than Fox can. So his side B's faster. I just think overall the matchup is better for Falco than Fox. Let's see, what else? Trainer, I think Fox or Wolf slightly loses to. Neutral, I do agree. Okay, I do agree that we slightly lose to slightly lose to Fox in neutral. The thing is that I don't think it's as big as you might think it is, considering, again, like, a lot of Fox's combos aren't super real, if that makes any sense. Wait, Daybreak, do you think we beat Wario? I'm kind of interested to hear why, but if you want, we could talk about it later. I'm going to other matchups. Olimar, I think Wolf slightly beats. I kind of feel like after the nerfs that Olimar got, it's just really hard for him to really do much against against Wolf in certain spots. Like, his out of shield options aren't amazing, especially because like he has a slower grab. So Wolf, like one of the issues that Wolf has in certain matchups is that he can't really pressure opponents that well. But because Olimar's out of shield options aren't very quick, aside from like maybe fair or up smash, and then up smash, if you could space around it, it's not that bad. I just feel like it's just less, he's less threatening. Especially now that you can just shield poke him too. Let's see. I think Wolf slightly beats the pits. I could actually see this going in like heavy advantage, honestly. Wait, where's the other pit? Oh, there he is. I could see this being like a hard advantage for Wolf, but the thing is that, especially with regular pit, I just feel like the arrows are such a huge factor in edge guarding Wolf. But in terms of like neutral juggling, Wolf does incredibly well, and on top of just being able to get out of Pit's advantage, because again his airspeed just allows him to drift around. Pit doesn't really have great, he doesn't have like a super strong combo game. That kind of hurts him too, so he can't really take advantage of a lot of stuff that Wolf has aside from edge guarding him, in my opinion. Palu, I think, is even. It's pretty. I feel like the matchup can be really annoying, but I think it could just be like flat out annoying for both characters, if that makes any sense. Like, they both have really strong options against each other, and they kind of have a similar weakness in the sense that both characters lack super strong out of shield options. Like Wolf's Nair out of shield is frame 10. I think Palu's Nair out of shield is also frame 10. Let me look it up really quick. Pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure that's like your fastest aerial option. Oh no. Her Nair is frame 5? Oh, it's frame 5. Damn, I got that incredibly wrong. But still, I would say because of the lack of range on it too, it's still pretty bad. Like, Wolf can just space around with fair and stuff. So I don't even think your like Palu should be using Nair that much out of shield versus Wolf, unless you just heavily misspace something. Off stage, Palu just has like super free 2-frames. He's the best character at 2-framing with down tilt and up smash. Yeah. Also, juggling Palu is pretty easy for Wolf in my opinion. Like, up air does a really good job of just invalidating her landing options, except for like teleport. But you can also read it, and you could chase her down a good amount of the time because there's aerial drift. Let's see. Okay, R.O.B. I think Wolf loses to R.O.B. And this is my reason. I feel like for the most part, almost every Wolf I've talked to has felt the same about the matchup, that Wolf struggles in it. One thing is that R.O.B.'s buttons, and like R.O.B. has really good buttons on Wolf. Like, you can't necessarily just run in on R.O.B. or like push buttons to get out of R.O.B.'s face. Like, it's just incredibly difficult. And then the way Wolf likes to recover is like low. That's typically his best option, to recover low and like go for the edge. R.O.B. is incredibly good at just invalidating that with down air. And like a lot of benefits you typically have as Wolf, it just feels like it doesn't matter versus Rob. Like your range kind of just gets, it doesn't necessarily get beat out, but it's harder to deal with Rob at the range that you're good at as Wolf. And then his projectile kind of beats out yours, in my opinion, because especially now that they it has more inline like it did in the previous patches. Yeah, and then Gyro's incredibly good at edgeguarding Wolf. But honestly, even without Gyro, I think Rob Laser combined with down air is just amazing at just getting Wolf. Like, if I were to rank these matchups, in my opinion, at the moment, I'd probably put it like this. I think Pikachu is overall the hardest matchup for Wolf, and then Rob. I'd probably put Trainer than Wario, because I feel like with Trainer, I'll actually I don't think I went over Trainer, but Pokemon Trainer. The primary reason why I feel like Wolf loses this is fighting Squirtle is just it's just hard. Like imagine you're fighting a Pikachu, but he has like faster aerials and just overall faster, and like yeah, it's just crazy. Like Squirtle basically just steamrolls you because he's incredibly hard to hit, and then he combos you off stage. You switch to Ivysaur. Ivysaur edgeguards you if he misses. And then Ivysaur probably does the worst versus Wolf in my opinion. So if you can get Pokemon Trainer to stick with Ivysaur, I think you have a really good chance. But I think the fact that Pokemon Trainer starts off like at a really good start kind of hurts you in this matchup. But yeah, this is where I rank the matchup so far. Mario Wolf I think is even. This matchup, in my opinion, is basically Wolf does like a pretty good job of just keeping Mario out. But then once Mario gets in, he just annihilates you. But overall, like Wolf, like all of Wolf's moves beat out Mario's as long as you space it properly. Edgeguarding Mario's pretty good. Like you can just run out and nair him if he up B's. If he up B's to recover, you should like almost always trade unless you. I'm pretty sure it has like invincibility in the beginning of it, so as long as you avoid the invincibility, Nair should trade, and then he'll just fly away, and it just makes it really difficult for him to come back unless he saves his double jump. Yeah. Talk about Luigi. I think Wolf slightly beats Luigi. And my main reasoning behind this is that Luigi off stage, it's kind of similar to Mario in the sense, except Luigi's recovery is just significantly worse. This is a matchup where as soon as Luigi's off stage, you just have to capitalize and kill him. There's also certain spots, I don't know if you guys know this, but when Luigi's recovering, sometimes it's not a bad idea to just eat a side B, because as soon as he hits someone with side B, it immediately stops and like it cuts its distance off. And if the Luigi jump side Bs, he will almost always die if you just like immediately cut him off, unless he's super close to the edge. There's not much you can do about it. In terms of getting grabbed, I feel like Wolf does a pretty good job at avoiding getting grabbed. The only issue you have in this matchup is up B out of shield. You just have to make sure you respect Luigi's shield a lot when you're at high percent, because you'll die to up B. I've played Elegant. He's done that to me a lot. That's what I think of the matchup. Octo. So I'll go over the links like again or more. So, Toon Link, well, basically all the Links, I feel like even though they have swords, typically their range doesn't matter that much in neutral. Because, like, your Fair and F-Tilt are still, like, really strong neutral tools to get around that. Comboing them also isn't very bad at all. And once you get them off stage, if they recover with up B, like, obviously Link and Toon Link and Zair, but certain spots they have to recover with up B, you should like almost always get a Dare Spike out of it. Because there's not much you could do about it, or there's not much they could do about it as long as you're in a spot to do so. Juggling Wolf is hard for them as well because his airspeed is just ridiculously good, and getting around the projectiles, you have reflectors to get around that. You can also just jump around it because of your airspeed. So that's like the main reason why I think the matchup is good for him. Piranha Plant, I think Wolf slightly beats. Yeah, I feel like Wolf just does a really good job dealing with Patui, and that's honestly half of the fight of fighting Piranha Plant. It's just how well can you deal with Patui. In terms of everything else, I kind of feel like Plant can kind of corner Wolf pretty well because you don't want to I feel like you don't want to reflect at the edge that much, especially versus Plant, because it's funny, but when you reflect Plant's Patui and like they throw it at you, it'll send it at an angle where it doesn't hit Plant, unless they're like super close to you, but they'll never throw it that close. So there's that, because like it doesn't really get rid of the problem, and then once you reflect it, you can jump away, but you're still in the corner, typically. And then two-framing Plant shouldn't be too bad because their recovery is fairly slow. Yeah, I feel like Plant just does a fairly good job at edge guarding Wolf because of Patui. He also has a Dare, so if he goes low, like Plant can like go super low or like kind of chase Wolf because he has fairly decently ranged aerials and can stand to go super deep off stage. Let's see. Joker, I think Joker wins. It's not as bad as I thought initially, but the main reason why Joker wins is because of Arsene. Like, I think Wolf does a very good job at avoiding fighting Arsene overall, but the problem is that... Oh, yo, Chocolate, thanks for the 29 months. I miss you too, man. But the main issue that Wolf has is that once he's off stage, it's just really difficult to avoid Arsene. Like, Tetracon is just so good at edge guarding Wolf. Like, if you Wolf Flash, you're probably instantly dead. If you recover with up B, you can die from that too. Like that part of the matchup is really bad, but overall, avoiding Arsene is fairly good. As Wolf, as long as you're on stage. But once you're off, it's probably game over. And then there's Backer. Like, Backer's great. Okay, I think this one might surprise people, but I think Wolf slightly beats Pichu now. Well, if you guys looked at my last matchup chart, I'm pretty sure I've also put that Wolf beat Pichu in that chart as well. But here's why. Here's my opinion. So Pichu is just significantly lighter. Like if we're comparing Pichu to Pikachu, Pichu is significantly lighter, so he'll die earlier. In my opinion, dealing with Pichu's Thunder Jolts is easier than Pikachu's because when he jumps Thunder Jolts, it goes at a lower angle, so it's closer to him, so when you reflect it, you have a better chance of getting a follow-up. Whereas when you reflect Pikachu's, they still have a chance to avoid getting hit with their reflected Thunder Jolt. With versus Pikachu, versus Pichu, you have a better chance of trading with his aerials because they have less range. Whereas with Pikachu's, you sometimes you just flat out lose to his attacks. And what else? Oh, Pichu has safer, some of his aerials and moves are just less safe than Pikachu's on shield. I think with Pichu's new F tilt, it's actually slow enough to get up smashed. I'm gonna just double check to make sure I'm right. Oh no, it's not. So it'll if Pichu F tilts and shields, then he won't get up smashed. But if you push the button, he's gone. I think Wolf slightly beats the Belmonts. Kind of just he can jump in on them fairly well. He can jump in on them fairly well, and edge guarding them shouldn't be that bad. The only issue, in my opinion, with this matchup is that once you're off stage, you can kind of just get blown up. But that's really anyone versus the Belmonts. As long as you just avoid being at the edge, you should be fine. I think actually I'm not sure. This one I'll put right here because I'm really not sure. Because with this matchup, in my head, Wolf has a lot of tools to just deal with Peach and Daisy. But the issue, the issue is that I feel like Peach and Daisy's advantage state is just so overwhelming that it's just really hard. Neutral isn't that bad, but their advantage is just so strong in my opinion. Yes, Wolf can kill them super early with down throw Wolf Flash, and yeah, it's guaranteed on them. In case you guys don't know, down throw Wolf Flash is guaranteed on Peach and Daisy at certain percents. Regardless of how they DI it, as long as you react properly with Wolf Flash, you can get them. But I mean, grabbing that character is already hard to begin with. And wait, sorry, hold on. Yeah, grabbing Peach and Daisy it's just incredibly hard to begin with. So, actually getting that to work and grabbing them at the edge, I don't know. All right, Joel, let's talk about it later. Yeah, so in my mind, yeah, Wolf has all these advantages on Peach and Daisy, but when you actually play it, it's so hard to actually get those advantages to work in your favor. That's why I'm putting this here. I think if you get all of that to work, it's even, but typically it doesn't work out. So I don't know. It's still a matchup. I feel like I need to grind more to really understand it. Shulk Wolf I think is even. So I feel like Wolf surprisingly does a very good job not only dealing with Shulk in neutral, but also dealing with Shield Monado. His attacks just are strong enough, they have enough knockback, and he has enough end lag to kind of just avoid a lot of Wolf stuff, in my opinion. Or to avoid Shulk stuff, that's what I meant. To avoid Shulk stuff. Um, Off stage is kind of terrible because Smash Monado, Shulk can just like eliminate your stock super early. But I do think that Shulk's disadvantage state, especially when you take into account what I said about shield, makes it not as bad. Nair on shield versus Shulk, you just jump away. Like, you could like jump away, or if you think he's gonna do something else, you could challenge it with an aerial. That's the thing about Shulk. So his aerials are fairly safe on shield, but his frame data overall isn't that quick. So you can actually just go out and challenge Shulk's shield pressure if you think he's gonna like try to be dishonest and like pressure you more. Let's see. Snake Wolf, I think, is even. The main reason being is that I kind of feel like both characters just have good tools overall to not get BS by the other. Overall, like Wolf's aerial drift kind of makes it really difficult for Snake to consistently just grenade camp him. As long as you're very wary about C4, you shouldn't be getting killed by it that much. Snake is also, in my opinion, is one of the hardest characters to 2-frame, and it's only because the Cypher hits you. Like when he's recovering, the Cypher will hit you when you try to 2-frame him. So that's kind of hard. Although, like, if you do get Snake off stage and you get him in a bad spot, you could just end his stock. Kind of the same thing with Snake. Snake can just end your stock with freaking Nikita. Although, what's up, B? Typically what happens when I fight Snake is they'll Nikita me, and my up B will hit the Nikita first, so the knockback is reduced. I don't know if I'm just getting super lucky, but I don't think I am. I just feel like that's like a consistent thing in the matchup, so it makes it really hard for Snake, or you have more chances to come back versus Snake, if that makes any sense. Also, if Snake tries to up tilt your shield, unless he spaces it really well, you can actually punish it with your up smash of the shield. So that's pretty good to know. And that's from either side, because you know, Snake's or Wolf's up smash is from both sides. Inkling Wolf. Actually, I'll probably put it here. Inkling Wolf is kind of the same thing as like Peach Daisy, although it's it's like more so. I feel like that Inkling's disadvantage state is actually pretty bad versus Wolf. Like Wolf can combo her very, very well, and Inkling has a difficult time getting out of juggles, whereas Inkling does have good combos on Wolf, but it doesn't feel like Inkling has does a good job at juggling Wolf, if that makes any sense. I do also think that Inkling wins neutral, but Wolf definitely has a better time killing outside of Inkling's up throw up air. Like, if they don't get you in that window, killing Wolf is incredibly difficult. And I also think Wolf is one of the harder characters for Inkling to consistently grab. Off stage though, Inkling has a really good job does a really good job at edge guarding Wolf. Not only can Inkling just chase you off stage with fair back air, but they also have a really good 2-frame with down tilt and down smash. So yeah, that's what I think of the matchup. I think Marth Lucina is even. kind of feels like when I play this matchup, neutral is I feel like neutral is slightly in Wolf's favor just because he has a better time weaving out, jumping in, things like that. But I think that Lucina does incredibly well at edgeguarding Wolf. Like, well, like definitely one of the better characters at edgeguarding him. I'm good. If you're talking about versus Wolf, I think it would go Squirtle, Charizard, Ivysaur. Like, I'm not gonna put them in slight advantage or disadvantage just because I feel like you're never really going to only fight one of them, so there's no point. Where was I at though? Oh, Lucina. So Lucina Lucina off stage versus Wolf, or like Wolf off stage versus Lucina is pretty hard. She has like a really good well, oh my god, I keep stuttering. But she does a really good job at edgeguarding Wolf because of her counter. Like, think of it like fighting Joker minus having like a better like having a ridiculous counter. Like, her counter is good, but it's not as strong as Joker's. And then she also just has really good aerials at just swatting Wolf away. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I think it's even. Like, on stage, Wolf does a really good job at fighting Lucina, but then Lucina gets Wolf off stage and it can go like really bad really quick. For the matchups I said, if you want, just go back to the VODs because I don't want to go over them like again. I want to finish like going through the chart. Let's see, who should I go now? Oh, I'll do Zero Suit. So Zero Suit Wolf, I think Wolf slightly wins. The reason why I think Wolf beats Zero Suit is mainly because I just feel like a lot of the things that she wants to do don't work that well versus Wolf. Like yeah, she moves around like and all that stuff, but a lot of her attacks will just flat out lose to Wolf's moves. And Wolf also does an amazing job at dealing with her flip kick. Like, there's been so many times where I'm just in the air, like, as Zero Suit tries to flip kick away, and then like Wolf's airspeed is just fast enough to catch her in spots that most characters wouldn't be able to do that. And then I think outside of going for like 2-frame down smash, Zero Suit's edgeguarding on Wolf isn't that great. Like, it feels like she has to kind of read Wolf a bit harder to like get a kill on him, or like get like some sort of confirm. And then up out of shield isn't that big of an issue just because Wolf's aerials kind of space around that. Like, the way you would hit Zero Suit's shield, she normally she shouldn't be able to get up out of shield that much. Game & Watch Wolf. Okay, so this one I don't have that much experience in, but from when I played Meister, it felt fairly even. I definitely need to play it more, but that's where I would put it now. Yeah, I'll be out of shield's kind of ridiculous. The thing is that I feel like Wolf just does a pretty good job at keeping Game Watch in disadvantage. Can also juggle, or no, can also like get 2 frames on Game Watch pretty well because of how his up B works. The annoying thing is just you have to be careful about how you pressure your Game & Watch because up out of shield is just annoying. But overall, I don't think it's like super bad for Wolf. But I don't know. I definitely would have to play it more. Ridley, I think Wolf beats pretty solidly. The thing that sucks about Ridley is that they're such a big character. Like they're like so easy to hit, and they're not heavy. That's like a huge problem. Like it's just it sucks. It sucks to be Ridley in this matchup, in my opinion. Like Ridley's fast and like can get good combos on Wolf. Also, edge guarding Wolf is good, but I just feel like being so big and just like getting comboed like that when you're that light just doesn't help at all in this matchup. Rosa Wolf, I think Wolf wins slightly. It just kind of feels like it feels like your Smash 4 Sheik versus Wolf, or your Smash 4 Sheik versus Rosalina, except that Rosalina is like an overall worse character, and you're like slightly slower, but you have more kill power. Like your pressure just isn't as strong, but your kill power is better. Like that's like the easiest way I could explain. Like Fair is just like really good at fighting, like at combating Rosalina, because you hit both her and Luma. Like you just like combo her to the edge while killing Luma. Wolf does a really good job at keeping Rose at the edge because he's just really good at edge trapping, and then her recovery is pretty susceptible to getting 2-framed. I'd say the same. Like I'd say this matchup is also slightly Wolf. Fighting Lucario, I guess it's kind of similar to Rose in the sense that I feel like Wolf just kind of snowballs early in the match, or can snowball early in the match, and with Lucario that's normally good because you get the aura, but the issue that you have is Wolf can kill you very early. So sometimes you're not able to abuse the aura as much as you would like to, because like you have Fair backer that kills ridiculously early. You have like a bunch of combos that just can kill early versus Lucario. So it just feels like you're at a disadvantage at the beginning of the match, and then the strength that you would normally have isn't as apparent as it should be because of Wolf's kill power. Where's Banjo? Oh, there he is. Wolf Banjo at the moment, I think Wolf slightly wins, but my opinion on the matchup could definitely change. The reason I say this is because it just feels like Banjo's out of shield options overall aren't very good, and well, like his bair's amazing, but as long as you just don't like put yourself in a position to get baired, it's hard for him to do much about your pressure, and that's not even like Wolf's strongest suit. Like his strongest suit is not like shield pressuring opponents. Wonder Wing is pretty ridiculous, but I think Wolf does a really good job at forcing Banjo to use Wonder Wing off stage. So like you're forcing him to burn an incredibly strong resource that he would normally use to kill, and he's using it to recover. So he can do that pretty consistently. Edgeguarding his up B isn't that bad for Wolf. I would say like Wolf can just like jump out and edgeguard Banjo pretty easily. Like, the most annoying thing, in my opinion, about this matchup is Grenade. But, I feel like it's not as annoying, because, again, Wolf, like the same with Snake, Wolf does a good job at just avoiding nades. and Banjo only gets 1. So even though his nade is overall better than a single wolf nade, I don't think it's super strong versus a wolf. Like again, Banjo's kill power is insane. So if Banjo gets like a Wonder Wing, you die super early. He also does a really good job at 2-framing Wolf's recovery with his down tilt, but I kind of feel like on stage Wolf has the advantage, and then aside from certain aside from that, I just feel like Wolf this overall he does better in the matchup. Like he does a better job fighting Banjo than Banjo does of fighting him. Let's see. Oh, Ken. Well, I think Wolf loses to Ken. My reason behind this is mainly it's kind of similar to Pikachu, honestly, where Ken can just push a lot of buttons on Wolf very easily, and Wolf just has a hard time dealing with it. On top of Ken's combos just being really good. Another issue is that a lot of the times Wolf likes to be able to beat out like other people's attacks, and he doesn't really do that as much versus Ken. Like trading just works. Get out of here, Mars. Shouldn't you be doing something? Shouldn't you be flying somewhere or something like that? So yeah, Ken can just like push buttons. Ken can just push buttons on Wolf, and it's pretty hard. Like you can't rely on up smash out of shield because it's slow. You can't rely on nair out of shield because it's slow. Like a lot of your options to just deal with Ken's buttons aren't fast enough, and then he just keep going to town on it. I swear, Wolf is not busted. He's a top tier character, but he's not a crazy top tier. Ness Wolf I think is even. It's funny because I think I really suck versus Ness, but I also just think it's really even. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just think I'm really bad at this matchup as a Wolf. Like Wolf's Fairy does a pretty good job at like getting Ness off stage. Edge guarding Ness shouldn't be that difficult once you force him to up B, because you can just like drift in and then catch his up B by air dodging through it. I don't know if you guys have seen that before, but that's pretty much like the go-to edge guard option on Ness. You just when you see him up B, you air dodge past him and then you get hit by the PK Thunder. Offstage does suck as Wolf. Like being off stage and down smash, you just get murdered. Go back to talking to Ken. The matchup is just basically like you just can't escape. You can't escape him that well once he gets in on you, in my opinion. Like his combos are really good. Like Wolf's out of shield options aren't very strong. It's pretty. That's what I would say about the matchup. Let's go to another Shoto. So initially I thought Wolf lost both the Shotos, but I think I'd put Ryu at even, and the reason being is that Ken is faster than Ryu, so it's easier for Ken to just run at you, whereas Ryu's a bit slower. I feel like Ryu relies on Hadouken more, and then Wolf can just reflect it, so that's like not that big of an issue. I also feel like you don't have to worry that much about like aerial, like Shoryuken versus Ryu. It's a good option, but it's not as strong as Ken's in my opinion. And again, like although Ryu can like kind of button you like Ken, because he's slower, it's harder for him to chase you down. Like he can't just like do buttons and then like maybe chase you as you're trying to run away and corner you. It's much harder for him to do that. Let's see. What else do I want to do? Puff Wolf. At the moment, I would say it's like a pretty decent advantage for Wolf. And I feel like it's mainly because Wolf kind of just beats Puff in neutral. Wolf's combos on her are pretty good, and his kill power is just great. What I will say about Puff is that she does a pretty good job at edge guarding Wolf when she can get him off stage, and like she has seeing rest. But as long as you are just respecting Puff, it shouldn't be that difficult. And on top of that, like Peach and Daisy, you have down throw side B, and you can just kill Puff like super early. Like I think yesterday I played like Salad Bar, I think was using Puff. I down throw side to beat him at like 20 and he died. And again, that was just a guaranteed combo that Wolf has. I think this one might surprise people, but I think Wolf Diddy is even. Neutral versus Diddy, I would say it's fairly hard just because the way he could position himself with Banana makes it hard to jump in on him, because Diddy's fair and back air are pretty good at just beating jump-ins. Diddy's pretty mobile, so he can control ground space really well. And yeah, like edge guarding, I'd say Diddy's pretty solid at. The only issue I would say, I feel like if Diddy had more kill power, he would win, but because he doesn't, and because he needs more neutral interactions to, or I should say kill power and damage output. Like his kill power and damage output aren't that great, so Diddy could be winning like a lot of neutral interactions, and the Wolf could just win like one or two, and it's basically even. That's like mainly why I think Wolf wins. Like the only BS Diddy has is the infinite, and I don't know. I feel like you can do like a pretty decent job at avoiding it in certain spots. Like as long as you don't get grabbed at like a certain on a platform, or you just not be on a platform stage. Although I feel like fighting Diddy on FD isn't really good. Let's see what else. Sans, I think Wolf beats. Oh, I'll put all the zoners like Sans, Zero Suit, or Sans, Samus, Dark Samus. I kind of feel like Wolf beats all of them for the same reason, and it's that in terms of actually like zoning, Wolf can just jump in pretty well, and I don't feel like they have a super strong option to beat out him jumping in. because of how fast he is, like airspeed wise. You guys are saying I'm disrespecting me Gunner because I said it's Sans? No, come on. How many of you guys tried me Gunner because Sans was here? Don't lie to me. Anyways, you just like jump in versus like these three zoners. It's fairly hard for them to deal with. Like Wolf's Fair, I wouldn't say it beats out their options, but it's difficult for them to it's more difficult for them to deal with than other characters, especially since their job is to keep you out. And on top of it, you can just like jump at a certain distance and Wolf can harass them pretty well. Kirby, I think Wolf slightly beats. So the reason why I think Kirby does better than Puff, because I feel like a lot of people kind of lump them in the same category because they're both, you know, they're both puff balls, they both have multiple jumps. The reason why I think Kirby does better, one, he has a spike, so like spiking Wolf is very doable for Kirby in my opinion. I feel like Kirby's smash attacks are just better at combating Wolf as well. Yeah, Kirby has good combos. Like Kirby just has good options. Also, in Hell run off stage is stupid. Like you can just die sometimes. That's so annoying. But Wolf also has down throw side B. Oh no, my thing shut off. Switch, no. Sorry. There we go. You know what? Let's change it up. I'm gonna put a different song. There we go. Yeah. So those are some reasons why I would say that. Okay. Let's do Greninja. Greninja Wolf, I think, is even. I kind of feel like on stage, Wolf slightly wins, ever so slightly. And that's just because I feel like Greninja's out of shield options are just very bad. And although Wolf's out of shield options aren't as good as Greninja, or aren't amazing either, I feel like they're slightly better than Greninja's, and he can just counteract Greninja in certain situations. Like if they're both jumping in at each other, Wolf will win because his moves come out faster. Yeah, Greninja also has like a slower grab. So I feel like that kind of gives Wolf a slight advantage in that situation, but I think Greninja's hard to hit. He has good combos off stage. Greninja also can just like Hydro Pump you if you're not careful. Like you pretty much have to go low and like up B at a certain height to like avoid getting Hydro Pumps. Yeah, he can also just counter you sometimes and you could die, but overall, I think Wolf can kind of BS Greninja as well. I think it's a pretty... I actually enjoy fighting Greninja. I played Ice Setting a lot at EVO and at Super Smash Con. Had a good time. Learned a lot. And yeah, I think it's even. Marth, I'll put here. The reason why is just because I think it's more volatile than Lucina. I don't know how strong, like, how consistent getting tippers are as Marth, because I haven't really fought many Marths, but I don't think it's... like, in my head, it's not as bad, but because of how hard tippers can be, I'll just put it here. So, like, basically the same reasons why I think Lucina Lucina, Wolf, or even minus, like, just not being able to kill as consistently as Lucina. Villager and Isabelle, I feel like Wolf slightly beats. Yeah, like overall, I feel like on stage, Villager isn't that bad. The most annoying thing about this matchup is just being off stage and slingshotted / bowling ball, and I feel like it's kind of the same thing with Isabelle. The worst thing is just being off stage. She sets up her traps, whatnot. I don't think it's like super bad. It could be a bit annoying, but not as bad. Really quick, for Wolf side B combos, the only thing I would suggest is just labbing out like what percents they work at, and then just like being like just getting into your muscle memory to react to them. Let's see, what else? Ice Climbers Wolf, I think Wolf slightly beats them. I actually had the pleasure of playing Big D in this match, and yeah, I learned quite a bit. It feels like Fair just does a really good job at keeping them at a distance. Like they don't have amazing range versus Wolf, even though they have the mallets. It's just hard for them to. I feel like it's hard for them to consistently get anything going, and then also grabbing Ice Climbers. I tell this to everyone, like grabbing Ice Climbers is incredibly good, like for two reasons. One, for some reason, Ice Climbers don't expect you to grab them, and two, like some characters actually have attacks on their throws. So Wolf, for example, his 4th throw, like there's an actual hitbox on it when he throws you, so it'll separate the Ice Climbers, and it makes it easier to kill the AI, or like aka Nana. And then like once you deal with Nana, the match becomes so much easier because you don't have to deal with any of the Icy's nonsense, like desync stuff. Little Mac, Wolf, I think Wolf slightly beats Mac. I would put it at advantage if it wasn't for the fact that I think Little Mac's neutral is like just pretty good versus Wolf, because he can stay grounded. If you push a button at a certain height, he can kind of just blow you up for it sometimes. Although being off stage, like Little Mac being off stage is pretty bad. Like you can kind of just kill him like forward tilt down smash. Kind of the same, well not the same, but DK Wolf I also think is slightly Wolf. This whole, like, in my opinion, this matchup is just about keeping DK in disadvantage, because he doesn't have, his tools to get out of disadvantage are so bad. Like, he's so big, and his landing options just aren't very good. Like, the only mix-up he has is B reverse giant punch, which he needs like a full charge to do, or like B reverse hand slap, and again, he's so big. Like sometimes I've played against YMCA and some other DK players, and they just sometimes they'll try to B reverse their landing, and they're so big, and Wolf's hitboxes are so big that it just doesn't matter sometimes. Edge guarding DK also isn't that big, or shouldn't be that difficult. You just jump out and spike him, 2-framing him shouldn't be that difficult either. The thing that's scary though is that like DK's hits hurt a lot. His backer is incredibly good at not only comboing you off stage but edge guarding you. DK still has, I don't know what they call it now. It's like the platform ding dong, whatever it is. He has that, and that can kill you. So it's like once you hit DK, it's like it's pretty bad. But then DK's advantage is also pretty strong too. Doc Wolf, I think Wolf slightly wins. In my opinion, it's kind of like Mario minus having good mobility, but again, like you still can just beat out a lot of his moves. The thing that makes it harder is Doc off stage can be a bit more tougher Wolf because of down B. Like Cyclone can just kill you. And then, well, down throw Cyclone is also a thing, so you have to be careful about that as well. But overall, like, Doc's combo game isn't as devastating as Mario's. He can kill a bit earlier, but I feel like Wolf's has a better time in neutral versus Doc than he does Mario. Falcon Wolf, I think, is even. This matchup is kind of scary, I think. Falcon does pretty good versus Wolf in neutral. Falcon also has like a really good time edge guarding and 2-framing because his dares is like a huge hitbox. But Falcon's combo food, so you can combo him. Kind of the same thing with him. Like, you can have decent time edge guarding him and whatnot. It's a pretty volatile matchup. Let's see what else. Wii Fit Wolf, I think Wolf slightly wins. So Wii Fit's hitboxes kind of just lose to Wolf's. Like overall too, I just feel like zoners versus Wolf are just fairly difficult for zoners unless you're R.O.B, because like R.O.B just has good buttons. But yeah, like aside from that, Wolf just has such an easy time getting in on zoners because he can just jump past all their BS, and then he's just inside of them, and their hitboxes typically don't beat out Wolf's because he just has better range and can just deal with them really well at a certain distance. Same thing kind of applies with Zelda. Basically what I just said. I'll just reiterate Falco really quick. Falco Wolf is even because I feel like Falco has really good combos on Wolf, and he also has a really good off-stage game versus Wolf, so like Falco's advantage on Wolf is just really strong, whereas Wolf kind of beats Falco more in neutral, but I just feel like Falco has more devastating follow-ups and edge guarding on Wolf. Let's see. Chrom Wolf, I think, is even. I hate this matchup. I feel like I'm so bad at it because I always screw up edge guarding up B, but yeah, I think it's pretty even. They kind of do similar things to each other, especially at the edge. They're both really good at edge trapping the other, but I would say Chrom does better in neutral, but Wolf has a better time edge guarding him. This one I'll put here too. I kind of don't know. I feel like Wolf has a better time fighting Roy than he does Chrom. Like when Chrom or when Roy goes for an up B, like Wolf can just nair and trade and like edge guard him with it. Roy also has worse edge trapping options because of the way his like tilts work. So you're like it's like you're more lenient. We have a more lenient time like getting off the edge versus Roy than Chrom. And yeah. Oh, also this is actually pretty big. Chrom can go super deep to counter edge guard Wolf, and Roy cannot do that. If you try to counter edge guard Wolf like too low, Roy will hit Wolf, but he won't be able to make it back. Let's see. I think both these heavies slightly lose to Wolf. The big thing is that honestly they're both just they're just combo food. Like yeah, they can like hit pretty hard, but I just don't see them consistently keeping Wolf at disadvantage really well. And I think that's what hurts them. Like they could get good hits on him, but I just don't see them being able to consistently convert off their hits as well as Wolf can them. But I do think they do better in disadvantage than DK does, surprisingly. Like Diddy has better landing mix-ups because of his jump and fall speed. K-Rool has armor on Nair. So, there's that. I think Wolf slightly beats Mewtwo. It's kind of sad. Mewtwo's so light, too. Like, yeah, like, he's just such a light character, so he's just pretty easy to kill when he's big. I feel like this could potentially go in like the advantage area, but I don't know yet. Yeah, overall this matchup just feels like it's kind of like Ridley. It's kind of like Ridley Wolf, where you're like a really big character that gets comboed well, and your size just does not fit. Like your size just does not fit your weight, so you just get so much. You just get so much punishment for your size. Yoshi Wolf, I think, is even. I kind of feel like they could just mess each other up really well. One big thing that Wolf has, in my opinion, versus Yoshi also is he could break double jump armor pretty easily with his back air. So there's that. Sonic Wolf I also think is even. Dude, Sonic Wolf is annoying in my opinion. This matchup is... The reason why it's annoying, in my opinion, at least for me, is neutral is just really hard. It's just really hard to fight Sonic in neutral. Spin Dash isn't as good as it was in Smash 4, but it's still like a pretty strong option. Your out of shield, like Wolf's out of shield options or buttons aren't like amazing, and Sonic's amazing at whiff punishing. Like like typically when Wolf does well in a matchup, it's because the opponent just can't whiff punish him that well, and Sonic can definitely do that. Yeah, Sonic overall is just hard to hit, and homing attack is very bothersome. I didn't do Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. I think Wolf slightly beats. Kind of similar to to Mewtwo, kind of, just because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you hit Bowser Jr.'s body, he actually has more knockback than if you hit his clown car. Like it changes things so much. And then something crazy about it too is that you can combo him by hitting the clown car and then typically like potentially do more damage to him because of that. Or be able to set up into kills because of that by hitting the clown car. And then like his side B can be annoying to deal with, and he does have like a strong combo game against Wolf, but it just feels like overall it feels like the neutral feels similar to Sonic, except Bowser Jr. is just a bigger target, so he's easier to hit, and he's just not as fast as Sonic. He doesn't have like the same mix-up options. Oh, Flaming Bagel, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, man. Alright. Oh. Robin. Wolf slightly beats. I will say that Wolf has a harder time jumping in on Robin, even though she's a zoner than other characters because of her fair. Like, her fair is just really, really good at combating jump-ins. That being said, I feel like her lack of speed just still makes it hard. Like, she has to fight. She has to fight to get out of certain situations. Whereas some of the other zoners have a better time, do a better time at running away. But yeah, I feel like overall Wolf does slightly beats her. I feel like he slightly beats most of the cast. If you haven't noticed already, I think Wolf slightly beats Ike. I don't think slight disadvantages is that bad though. But I mean, yeah. Again, if you want to talk about like a matchup you disagree with me on, you could also just DM me on Twitter. I have my DMs open. Oh yeah. So Ike Wolf, I think he slightly beats. Although I will say, dealing with Ike's Nair is annoying, but I feel like Wolf can deal with it pretty decently. And then plus, oh, this is a big one. Chrom. So Ike's up B is slower than Chrom, so it's kind of easier to edgeguard him because of that. Like, you just have better options to edgeguard Ike. His airspeed isn't as good as Chrom's, so him going for side B, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can just there's like someone posted on Twitter. You just jump at Ike, and if you think he's gonna side B, you air dodge him, and like he stops dead in his tracks because he'll try to slash you, but your air dodge will make you avoid it, or will make you your air dodge will make you avoid his slash. So Hero, I put Hero here. I feel like as long as you do a good job at avoiding certain things, it shouldn't be that bad. Like if you avoid the RNG nonsense, it shouldn't be too difficult. Of course, it's Hero, so you can always just. Like, sometimes you can just lose because you get RNG'd, but overall, I think Wolf has a good, like, does a good job at dealing with that on top of, what's it called? Oh, on top of Hero not having good buttons. Like, Hero just doesn't have fast buttons. I think you can reflect stuff, yeah. Oh, something else I forgot to mention about Robin, which is why I think like she does like Wolf beats her. So aside from Fair, which is amazing, which is an amazing out of shield option, I don't think she has like other strong tools to like deal with shield pressure. Like if you do aerials behind her, her bear isn't very strong, so it kind of just hurts her even more. And Wolf's airspeed can easily get behind her, in my opinion. Beowulf, Beowulf, Wolf versus Bayonetta. I think Wolf wins. So like Wolf just combos Bayo pretty well. Off stage, if Bayo ever recovers low with up B, because she can't magnet it, like Wolf's down smash will just kill her. Like it's actually pretty hard. So like you have to like implement side B or like directional air dodge in order to avoid getting hit. Oh, Duck Hunt. I think Wolf also beats. After playing Rido numerous times and losing to him, I still think Wolf wins. Something that I've learned a lot from fighting Rido is that Duck Hunt spawning Ken is actually like, it's very punishable. If you guys noticed, when Duck Hunt throws his can, he throws it at a height where you can run under it, so you could punish him for doing it. And then it's the same thing for his gunmen. Like they actually are fairly laggy, so if he does it from far away, or if he does it like at a certain distance, you can punish it. And Wolf is also, because of his dash attack, he can just be there, so he can cover that distance pretty well. I also think edgeguarding Duck Hunt isn't that bad. Like, Can's annoying, but you can get around it and just chase him, get him with the back air. If he goes low, you can reverse up B him because of how his up B works. So yeah, I think Wolf slightly beats him. Me Swordsman and me Brawler, I think Wolf slightly beats. Although me Brawler has a lot of frame data that's similar to Mario, the reason why I think he doesn't do as well as Mario is because his combo game just isn't as strong as Mario's is, and that's where I feel like that's where I think me Brawler is lacking in this matchup. Like if he had better combos, it would definitely go into even, but because of that, it kind of makes him fall a bit short. And like kind of the same thing, well, not the same thing as me Swordsman, but I feel like a lot of tricks that me Swordsman try, especially like with the tornado, just doesn't work that well versus Wolf. Yeah, I feel like overall, like Wolf just has like a pretty good job at dealing with Swordsman's specials, and then neutral I think is pretty good for Wolf. Ganon, I think Wolf wins. Ganon can kind of just hit you and you die, but I think it's hard for Ganon to get that initial hit. And then plus Wolf can just kind of combo steamroll him to the edge. Ganon being big and heavy, a lot of confirms work pretty well on him. Mega Man Wolf I think is even. Actually, put it here. I'm not like super sure about it. I'm not super sure about it. Yeah, I think I'll put it here. I'm just... Right now, I'm just unsure. The reason why I think the match was pretty good for Wolf is like he just jump in and beat Mega Man. His combos are pretty strong. Up air also is... Or no, wait. What was I gonna say? Not his up air. Oh, Mega Man's fair and back air are pretty good at edge guarding Wolf. Especially Bear, because it's pretty active. It's like active for a pretty long time. Yeah. I'm just unsure. But I definitely feel like Wolf probably wins. Wolf Sheik, I think Wolf wins. So, funny enough, minus Needles, their neutral is fairly similar. Sheik is faster, but Wolf has... Like, Wolf's hitboxes are just so easy. Wolf's hitboxes are so easy to trade with versus Sheik. So, like, there's been so many times I played Void and, like, I threw out a Nair and he faired it and we traded. And then sometimes the trade just goes in my favor because of how Wolf's hits work, I guess. Kill power wise, Wolf definitely has an advantage on Sheik. Edge guarding wise, Sheik has an advantage on Wolf. But I just feel like I just feel like this matchup is hard for Sheik. Like I don't think it's horrible. I just think it's really difficult for Sheik to deal with Wolf's hitboxes consistently. Pac-Man, I think Wolf wins. I don't know. I feel like Wolf just has a good time dealing with Hydrant. And overall, again, I just think that Wolf just does really well versus zoners. Like, although Pac-Man has does a decent job of keeping Wolf out with the Hydrant, I feel like the ability to hit Hydrant and like make it a hitbox can work against Pac-Man. On top of your projectiles can kind of disrupt him from like charging his whatever it's called, like the Galaga or the bell or key, whatnot. And then having a reflector versus Pac-Man is like always good. So if you react to like Pac-Man throwing out something, you reflect it and punish him for it. The most annoying thing about this matchup is that Pac-Man's Nair is just really good. Like he has like one of the better Nairs in the game. Maybe like definitely one of the better Nairs in the game. So Nair out of shields are very strong. Like him nairing out of combos is really good, but as long as you space yourself to avoid that, it shouldn't be that difficult. And then plus, Pac-Man just has like a pretty big hitbox, so comboing him, juggling him isn't that difficult, in my opinion. Cineroar, I think Wolf wins. I think that the most annoying thing about this matchup is Revenge, on top of him just being able to forward tilt your recovery. Because his forward tilt hitbox is really big. Like, I think 2 frames. So that's really good. It's really, really good. And Cineroar's throw combos are pretty strong. He's slow though, so it should be pretty difficult for him to actually like just get in. Like Wolf should be able to wall him out pretty well. And Meta Knight, I think Wolf slightly wins as well. Juggling wise, I feel like Wolf just has a really good time avoiding Meta Knight's juggles because he's not that quick in the air. So like once he gets like a certain stream going, unless it's like 100% guarantee where he gets like the up air up B. Oh my god, my voice. Unless he gets like the up air up Bs, I don't think it will. Even then, I don't think he can kill Wolf super early with his up air up B stream because Wolf is like a pretty decent weight and falls pretty fast. So I think it's hard for Meta Knight to get that on him. On top of just having a good airspeed to get out of juggles. So unless he does like 100% combos that I don't think will kill, that's pretty hard for pretty hard for Meta Knight to like get something going, like kill wise. Minus his tornado. Like off stage Meta Knight can like mess up Wolf. But aside from that, I think Wolf has really good combos on Meta Knight. The neutral shouldn't be that bad for Wolf, considering like Meta Knight full hopping is kind of bad. Like full hopping around, jumping around. It's just you don't want to do that versus Wolf because of how quick he is in the air and like how big his hitboxes are. Yeah, I think. Oh, I have Lucas. I forgot about Lucas. I think Wolf beats Lucas slightly. The first time I played this matchup, I thought it would be close, like similar to Ness, but Lucas's hitboxes, like in neutral, aren't that hard to beat, in my opinion. PK Fire isn't that big of an annoyance compared to Ness's. PK Thunder, like Lucas's PK Thunder could be pretty annoying, like edge guarding wise, but I don't think it's that much better than Ness's when it comes to like getting recoveries. In terms of kill power, Lucas is kind of lacking compared to Ness. Like he has like not to say he doesn't have good kill moves, but it just feels like his kill power and combo game aren't as strong as Ness's, and his edge guarding overall isn't as strong. Well, mainly because Ness has like the 2-frame on his down smash is pretty ridiculous. But something big that Lucas does have is like he has a better recovery because of his tether, and his up B just goes stupidly far. Yeah, so that is my Wolf matchup chart.